Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ian Hopkins, the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police. I'd like to give you an update on the investigation so far. I would like to confirm that we are confident that we have now spoken to the immediate family of all those that sadly died in Monday's attack, and that they are being supported by specially trained family liaison officers. I'm also aware of speculation on social media and the wider media around the occupation of one of the victims. Very sadly, I can confirm that one of the victims is a serving police officer, but in respecting their family's wishes, I will make no further comment at this stage. Due to the number of victims, the Home Office post-mortems are likely to take 4 to 5 days. After this, we will be in a position to formally name the victims in line with guidance from the coroner. I would also like to confirm that we have spoken to all of the families of those that lay injured in our hospitals, and of course we are doing all we can to support all of them too. You will be aware that the level of activity in this investigation is intense and is continuing at a fast pace. We have made 3 further arrests in connection with attacks overnight, and this afternoon we entered an address in Manchester city centre using a controlled explosion. Officers are currently at the scene searching that address, but in order to execute that entry we did have to close a mainline railway line for a short period, but this now has reopened as we continue those searches. So that brings the total number of people in custody currently to 4. People across Greater Manchester will have seen a significant increase in the number of armed officers on mobile patrol and at static points across the city. We have been supported by forces from across the northwest and beyond, and this forms part of our well tried and tested plans for any major terrorist attack. Obviously, with the announcement from the Prime Minister last night of the increase in the threat level to critical, you will be aware that the military are supporting policing across the country under the codename Operation Tempera. This is about the military being used to guard iconic sites and other sites outside of London and across parts of the north. This frees up armed police officers to then give the police service capacity to deploy them to places like Manchester as part of our plans for keeping the country safe. What I would confirm is that there are no military personnel patrolling the streets of Greater Manchester, nor are there any plans for that to happen at this time. The armed police that is now available throughout the rest of the country is being used to supplement my armed officers here in Manchester, and in particular is enabling us to work to make sure that the planned Manchester Games and the 10K run go ahead this weekend. We obviously had significant plans in place with event organisers and Manchester City Council around those annual events. We are now obviously reviewing those plans with organisers and with the City Council in light of this week's attack to make sure that we can allow them to go ahead in as safe an environment as possible. So I am happy to take a couple of questions at this point.
Mr. Hopkins, have you found the bomb factory?
As I've said, we are carrying out extensive searches of premises across Manchester, but it would be ill-advised of me to comment on the investigation to that level.
Do you believe that somebody else put that bomb together, and are you searching for that person? Is this a search now for a bomb maker?
I think it's very clear that this is a network that we are investigating, and as I've said, it continues at a pace. There's extensive investigations going on and activity taking place across Greater Manchester as we speak. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Is there a report that his family spoke to the police?
I'll ask questions when we answer.
However, it is very clear this is